Enough! Class is over. The gym teacher intervened at just the right moment, putting an end to the altercation and ordering us to head to the showers. The showers after gym class are a social minefield, especially when you're the middle school genius kid with mysterious red spots on your skin. Today, while I was getting ready, my classmates' stares felt like spotlights, each one adding weight to the already charged atmosphere. The new marks on my skin were like neon signs, attracting curious eyes. Solomon, with his characteristic bravery, stood in front of them, his voice cutting through the air like a samurai saber. "If you're so fascinated, you should consider charging admission," he exclaimed, and although his tone was playful, his words had the edge of a challenge. Pedro, following his example, joined the defensive act. Together, they created a verbal barrier that deflected the stares, and soon, the conversation flowed to safer topics, as if the red spots were just a fleeting shadow instead of the mark of an unusual day. "You know, Solomon is my best friend, and he's also like an older brother to me. He's always there, looking out for me. Come on, shorty, don't be late," he urged me, while he headed to the classroom with Pedro. "Yeah, don't worry, I'll just be another minute," I replied as I finished getting dressed. I heard Thomas and two of his closest henchmen, Jake Turf, an overweight boy with low self-esteem who seeks belonging in exchange for blind loyalty, perfect for Thomas, the other, Terry Johnson, who doesn't follow blindly but craves the leadership of the gang, showing an even wilder attitude if possible. "Look at the circus dwarf! He can't get dressed without his mommy," Thomas tried to insult me with malicious mockery. "Now you don't have your watchdog," he continued, enjoying the disadvantageous situation I found myself in. "You know, I always weighed why some people consider being semi or fully naked a disadvantage. Perhaps it's because they fear that people will see the nakedness of their being, not necessarily in terms of anatomy, but exposing their fears, phobias, and insecurities." Thomas continued with the harassment, intimidating me and cornering me against the lockers. "At least I can read a book that's not a picture book," I responded defiantly, alluding to his reading and comprehension problems, which was the origin of our enmity. For a moment, his henchmen were tempted to laugh at the remark made at his expense. However, a furious look from Thomas made them desist, stifling any hint of laughter. "What's the matter, Thomas? Do you need help facing a 9-year-old boy in his underwear?" Solomon made his presence known at the right moment, ready for the confrontation. "Shut up! Your time will come too for hanging out with this weirdo," Thomas threatened hostilely. "What will your father think when he finds out his son needs help bullying a little kid? Surely you'd be the laughingstock in the descendants of Odin," he mocked the situation, ridiculing the supposed superiority that Thomas's father has instilled in him. "Shut up! Shut up, you trash! You'll both fall before me," Thomas shouted furiously, punching one of the lockers. His henchmen were cautious in the face of his outburst of anger. "Enough talk, it's time for action!" Solomon exclaimed decisively, as he took off his shirt like a soccer hooligan, launching himself at Thomas. I confess that until before that moment, I was trembling inside, the fear within me was evident, but seeing him with the determination to face my harasser filled me with courage. It inspired me to confront my bullies. I couldn't allow myself to be just an observer, especially when even though it wasn't his fight, he was willing to face them. Taking advantage of the confusion of that moment, I mustered the strength to attack another of the bullies with an unexpected low blow. Within seconds, the locker room turned into an impromptu battlefield, 2 of us against 3 opponents. The confrontation was chaotic and frantic, full of punches and shoves. Meanwhile, around us, the other students just watched, some out of fear, like poor Pedro, and others out of silent complicity. In this situation, indifference is not an option, you either help or you're part of the problem.